Flowzie family is the second creature species that Archmage Lucas Lorick discovered on his expedition to the Burning Isles. As with Globals, he brought several Flowzies back to the mainland, where he now gives them to apprentice conjurers to get them started. Wild Flowzies are typically found in jungles and beaches of the Burning Isles, where they spend their time lazing around soaking up the sun. The fruit they bear around their necks makes them prone to being preyed upon by larger creatures, so they often have to hide away in between bouts of sunbathing. If they ever feel threatened, their instinct is to run and hide rather than fight. Often, a Flowzie will befriend smaller creatures by letting them eat its fruit. This gives both parties some extra protection from predators through strength in numbers. In this situation, they are much more aggressive when threatened. Theropetals are more capable of defending themselves than their younger forms, so they're much less skittish than they were as Flowzies. In the wild, they're usually surrounded by an entourage of smaller creatures who snack on the fruit growing from their necks. This group acts as bodyguards for the Theropetal and may be comprised of a variety of species, or could be exclusively one species. Sometimes Theropetals will pair up to attract an entourage of stronger creatures, but it's rare to find more than two at a time. Once a Theropetal morphs into Sorabloom, it becomes much choosier about which creatures are allowed in its entourage. These creatures treat their followers more like a gang than their younger kin, weeding out the weakest ones and exiling any that might challenge them. Sourblooms are fiercely territorial as well, and often wage turf wars against one another. Mated pairs will also join their gangs together, creating a formidable force that claims large swaths of territory. In the heat of battle, the Flowzie family are naturally adaptable. They can serve several different roles and fill gaps in party makeup as needed. With their flower class, Flowzies can choose from a variety of effects, from high melee damage to crowd control, healing, or buffing allies with their magic pollen. The Spitter class gives this family extra ranged options, especially focused on softening up foes and dealing damage over time. It's also good for blasting groups of close enemies with crippling effects. Last but not least, the Sunforged class lets these creatures tap into stored up photosynthetic energy. They may turn this energy inward, healing and empowering themselves, or unleash it as beams and blasts of searing light. An adventurous conjurer can make especially good use of this family's utility features. Their ability to grow berries can provide a consistent supply of food for lengthy journeys, allowing a party to stretch their rations out for much longer. They can also restore their own health by sunbathing, which means their conjurers don't need to spend their own mana reserves to keep them in fighting condition. At their highest metamorphosis, Sourblooms are even large enough for the conjurer to ride as a mount, opening up new options for travel. Subscribe to the channel to learn more about Crytures, a monster collecting sword and sorcery tabletop RPG. And tune into my art streams where I work on concept art and illustrations for the game. I hope to see you there, but until next time, be well, Conjurer, and may you walk the waking dream.